What's up, friends? It's your boy GP with DeOrganized Media, bringing you another awesome episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, have a dope discussion about Bitcoin news, world news, uh, alpha fresh and hot off the presses, you name it, we got it. And kick out some high frequency vibes for your lovely, lovely Thursday. I hope that you've had a blessed week up to this point. It has been a hectic one for me, but hey, I'm still living. I'm on the right side of the ground, and I'm keeping love in the room. So I hope you're doing the same. Yeah, we got some base chads in the house tonight. We've got the Legend of All Stacks Legends, Stackman Switch. I said Stackman Switch, Jackman Switch. You know your boy's tired. Rosar's gonna do a little demo about what he has planned for builders in this ecosystem. Our buddy Brian, that we met from from Blockface at the Bitcoin Vegas at the Bitcoin conference. He's in the house tonight. We've got some real base chads and some talented individuals in the house. So, yeah, I got some cool bookmarks to go over that I saw. Got some big news around the whole space, to be honest. So, base news segment coming your way. Let me share my screen with you, and we'll get straight into it, and then we'll bring the guys on for an awesome conversation. Oh, this is Tiffany Fong's post. What am I doing? This isn't my bookmarks. What am I doing, GP? What are you doing? Come on, man. Bring up your bookmarks. People need the news. La-ti-da. All right, so let me make sure that you guys can see it. Come back to my restream. Make sure that, yep, I'm small. The news is big. Let's go. All right, so from Tim Draper himself, and if you did not know, Tim Draper is a Stacks bull. He is also a Bitcoin bull, but he is a Stacks bull, majorly bullish on Stacks. And let's read about what he has to say. And if you wanted to follow Tim Draper, you would go to @Tim Draper. Let's go. I care deeply about Bitcoin innovation, and all the noise at Stacks and Munib have consistently proven themselves as top Bitcoin innovators. Stacks' new SIP31 treasury management framework sets Stacks up for growth. Over $500 million in Bitcoin is already deposited into Stacks. That's real capital flowing to where infrastructure actually works. Stacks L2 provides fast transaction speed and manages to maintain 100% Bitcoin hash power security. Layer 2 technology combined with a new treasury will allow Stacks to compete with the largest chains. At Draper VC, we are looking forward to the positive impact this will bring to Bitcoin DeFi with Zest protocol leading the charge. I'm the CM of Zest protocol. I feel special. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The gravitational pull toward Bitcoin is real. The Stacks community is voting mid-June. Early support looks strong, and I will be voting yes. Base Tim Draper coming out of the woodworks with his SIP proposal and sentiment. And let me tell you what I said to him. He said, "When are you going to get a Stacks tie, Tim?" Yes, I called him by first name like I know him. Keep being a based high frequency individual. You are the man. Let's see what Munib, the man himself, founder of Stacks, says. Thanks, Tim, for your support. We're making Bitcoin productive and building the best L2 rails for Bitcoin. Your confidence in Stacks and support for the new growth plan goes a long way. I will like this. Let me move on. Right. Let's see here. From Nas Ferratu. I butchered his name a couple times today. GP's tired, but he is a Gigaverse ambassador. He's one of my ambassadors, and dude is a base chat. Let's see. So the main premise of this game is to build more around Stacks, connecting everything with everything. This isn't just for one community. This is for everyone. I'll be building and learning at the same time, so expect updates. Thank you. Bye. And if you're wondering what he's referring to, good morning. Still in the ideation phase, this is a brief concept video of a game called SDX Versus, Stacks Versus, built by Idea Valley Tech in collaboration with CTSN on Stacks. SDX Versus is a 2D PFP fighter game where you fight as your favorite Stacks memes and creators. Watch your speakers. Just had to, he's got the Mortal Kombat theme, of course, based as hell. Let me make sure this is There we go. All right, now it'll play. So, boom, look at this. Got a little Welshie here, the Rue in the background. I don't know who this guy is. Maybe that's Gus. Be Pepe in the mix, but this is a perfect candidate for what Lord Rosar is trying to do. So very, very based. I love it. I want to see more people starting to build with clarity. Very, very based. And if you want to follow him at OX Nos with a zero Veratu. Um, there you go. Let me zoom out just a bit so you can see those types of Australia on the full screen. There's just coming from Lord Rosar himself. Rosar is a base dev within the ecosystem. You should follow him at Lord Rosar. Should I live code a simple GameFi D app from 0 to MVP today? If so, what game? Maybe we save that and then we kind of cover what he's trying to do with his builders boot camp. But yes, I definitely want to see this live. Please, Rosar, save this for whatever we do it live. I want to see it. But yes, he is in the house today, so we'll cover it. And then from the Bellar camp, and you can follow them at Bellar BTC. Join us today for market updates and insight stream from this is Resh. I'll butcher it, but here you can follow him here if you want to. But this is Resh. He's a base guy from Bellar. And Crypto Landy. So Crypto Landy is now working with the Bellar crew on this little market update. We'll analyze Bitcoin's trajectory, discuss recent highs, and provide trading context for the current environment. NFA, which stands for Not Financial Advice. The stream will be live here on X today, June 12th at 4:30 p.m. UTC. And as you can see, here's their stream is about an hour and 3 minutes long. If you want to go watch this, go to Bellar BTC on X and go give it a listen. Crypto Landy's my guy, man. He is very talented. He is a martial chartist, as my dude Dark Dude would coin it. But yeah, go check that out. Coming from the Hermetica squad, and you can follow them at Hermetica5. This thing will get unstuck. Okay. Total yield is now live on your portfolio. You can now see all the USDH earnings clearly in one place. And if you're asking what USDH is the first Bitcoin-backed stablecoin native to Bitcoin. Completely native is a rune, and the way that it's set up is completely based. I'll let Jack get into that a little bit. Jack is repping the Hermetica squad heavy. Big shout out to Jack, and he is in the room tonight. But you can now see all of your yield portfolio, how much yield your portfolio is earning right from the Hermetica 2.0 platform. So it is awesome. Very, very awesome. Coming from the main Stacks handle, and you can follow that at Stacks. The Stacks ecosystem is paving the way for institutional BTC5 with Hex Trust. Hex Trust announced support for SIP10 tokens, giving institutions secure, compliant access to Bitcoin yield on leading Bitcoin L2 through regulated infrastructure. This is based. Hex Trust is doing solid work with SBTC and other SIP10 assets. So very, very bullish for Stacks. Coming from the Zest protocol camp, you can follow them at Zest Protocol. The best Bitcoin investor knows what is needed to accelerate the Bitcoin economy. Zest will lead the way by unlocking BTC-backed loans and liquidity in the ecosystem. They have quoted here Tim Draper. So very, very cool. Get yourself into the Zest Discord. I am the Zest Protocol CM over there. And we have plenty of initiatives, including the Zest Meme Coin Sprint Round 2, where based founders from the ecosystem of SIP10 tokens have put together a Zest community chest that you could win through various different incentivized challenges, daily rumbles, you name it. We got it in the Zest Discord. So go jump in there and let's have some fun and connect. Remember, it's about the alpha, but it's also about connecting and having fun. So get in there. Base tape from Zest. Coming from the Stacking DAO camp, you can follow them at Stacking DAO. Want to put your STX to work and earn up to 10% APY paid in SBTC, BTC, or STX? Just use Stacking DAO. Very, very base there. And you can also go jump into the Stacking DAO Discord. I am also the CM over there in the Stacking DAO Discord. today we had the weekly Pokemon tournament, which was based. I placed second place in, which means that I'll have a little bit some prizes to redistribute. I'm gonna give that to the community. I'm not gonna keep it myself. So get in there, get active, and maybe you just win $20 in SDSDX. So let's go. Go check out the activity schedules for both Discords. And yeah, let's have some fun, guys. Coming from the main news, okay, so we've got Cointelegraph coming in with a banger. Just in, Shopify partners with Coinbase and Stripe to roll out USDC stablecoin payments starting June with full launch by the end of 2025. This is huge. I wanted to discuss a little bit about this with the guys. So we'll move on to the next one, but keep this in mind. We'll talk about this. Just in, NVIDIA will no longer include China in its forecast due to ongoing U.S. chip export controls. CEO Jensen Huang says. I probably butchered his last name, but forgive me, Jensen. Latest, Ethereum sees 375 million in stablecoin inflows in 24 hours, outpacing Arbitrum and Avalanche. Wow. Maybe alt season, but also the reason why the market cap of ETH is so high is a lot of stables. So, all right. Moving on. Tried to raise up to 500 million for corporate XRP treasury. Yuck. Let's see. Trump. I'm not gonna fire Powell. Okay, Cointelegraph. I see you. And Trump not gonna fire him. I don't know why. Latest, BlackRock sets 35 billion revenue target and 400 billion private markets fundraising goal by 2030. Go ahead, BlackRock, and do not sell your Bitcoin to BlackRock. Hodl on and stay strong. I'm telling you, man, like this is who you're selling it to if you're selling at these levels. Do not get shaken out. The markets are volatile for a reason because players have big bags. They're trying to buy yours cheaper. Let's go. Breaking, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he believes we will see more trade deals coming very quickly. And that might have something to do with another news article that I have. But anyways, Chainlink, JP Morgan's Connexis and Ondo Finance complete first cross-chain DVP settlement between a permissioned payment network and a public RWA blockchain. RWAs are coming to blockchain technology, and looks like Ondo is doing their thing. That's their shindig, right? So very cool. Breaking, USDC goes live on Ripple's XRP ledger. This is a big one. Latest, US PPI rises to 2.6%, lower than expectations, while core PPI came in at 3% versus 3.1% expected. So lower, yet markets are just kind of, not really reacting bullish to CPI coming in at lower, than expected. Insight, 93% of all Bitcoin is already mined. Learn why BTC's engineered scarcity matters, how low-cost coins shrinks real supply, and what happens when mining ends. Basic supply and demand dynamic here. So they have this whole chart here, the halvings year, block number, you name it, they got it over here on this timeline here. So go check it out. Ethereum futures open interest hits all-time high of 20 billion as ETH doubles since April. Wow. So open interest refers to perpetual trading, I do believe. So yeah, people are speculating. Justin, Coinbase coin partners up with American Express to launch the Coinbase One card that pays up to 4% back in BTC. This is pretty big here. This is a bigger one that we're going to discuss with the guys as well. And this is another big one here. They put the Bitcoin Genesis block on Coinbase Amex card. Look at that. See this? This is the Genesis block information right here. That is so badass. Even though it's from Coinbase, whatever, but like, yeah, I think this is a good looking card. You can see January 2009, and then it's got what they were saying there. Very, very cool. Breaking, Brazil's strategic Bitcoin reserve bill passes first committee, pushing the country closer to holding BTC as part of its national reserves. And I think that's the last one that I'm going to cover. Yeah, let me cover this last one here too. Binance opens full access to Syrian users after U.S. sanctions suspension. Syria is off the prohibited countries list. Residents can join 270 million plus users in the global crypto economy. More and more countries getting bullish on blockchain technology. Um, I feel I feel bullish. I heard somewhere that the Genius Bill may just be passing very very soon, so that'll give us like some regulatory clarity surrounding stablecoins and such. But yeah, without further ado, let's bring on the guys. We have the legend of Stacks Legends, Jackman Switch in the house. We also have Base Builder Rosar in the house, and we have our buddy Brian from the Bitcoin conference also in here, and he has his own accolades. Brian's camera is off right now, but I'm sure he'll come back with this in just a few. But what's up, guys? How are we feeling tonight?
Hey, GM guys, good to be here with y'all as always.
Feeling good.
Me too, dude. I feel like though there was like fun and all that good stuff going on, and there's like I feel like a paid flood campaign going on. Um, I feel like really bullish right now, especially since Tim Draper just kind of was like, "Hey man, I'm bullish. I'm doubling down." What's up, Brian? I see you now.
Hey, yeah, something was wrong with my camera. I had to restart.
It happens, man. It happens, dude.
Yeah.
You know, when Stacks secured 5,000 Bitcoin, and we still have a cap, by the way. We could have even more Bitcoin. It really made Stacks the leader of the pack, right? So what does that do? That puts a target on your back, and so everyone's going to take shots, right? I mean, that's the nature of the game. Crypto is a really dirty business at the end of the day, like all business. But reality's reality. We've got the best infrastructure. We're not saying, hey, we're going to do this DeFi thing one day. We're already doing it. Okay, that again puts you in a class by yourself, right? So, suck on it. That's basically.
Yo, so Dark Dude is so based. I was having the same conversation with him, and he's become like quite the DNS max, right? Big shout out to my buddy Dark Dude. And he registered suckmynuts.pc because of this conversation. It's like, okay, dude, all right. It's hilarious.
And really, when you see all the stablecoin stuff, once that Genius Bill is passed, and I'm not a complete fan of it, but when you look at it big picture, it's like given the whole world permission for mass adoption, right? Like everything's going on crypto rails, and now it's just going to be a matter of staying relevant, building with more clarity, and working in decentralized environments to counteract the attempted market capture that is going to be practiced by these large institutions that is business as usual, right? I mean, that's how it works. People lobby to make sure that they have all but monopolies on whatever market they're interested in. And that's the difference with decentralization. You really can't. You can't stop it. The battle of ideas wins at the end of the day. If they could have strangled Bitcoin in the crib, they would have. Yet here we are. So that's really the takeaway story. So mass adoption's here, guys. It's going to get real big real fast.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna get nutty. And Tim Draper's like take on STX, like and how SIM31 is going to enable like synchronization rails and all of that stuff. It's like our war chest, right? Really makes me feel bullish. And then like him speaking up and using his voice, like, yo, dude, like he's a permabull on building on Bitcoin and believes in the technology we have in Stacks. Think about it. You made a very good point about like these other Bitcoin L2s, like they have treasuries for a reason. Like it's for like paying KOLs, paying for FUD campaigns apparently, and all of the above, right? And then the way that Stacks was launched, it was SEC compliant. It has an A+ rating with the SEC, and it's the only token that has done that. So and it was required to have a very small treasury at first whenever it started. I think it was something less than 5%, something like very small. It was like 80 million STX. And, Stacks has been around for 6 years. So, of course, that's like been used for other incentivization campaigns and stuff. Now, with this new SIP, we will be able to say, hey, this is what we have, this is what we built on limited funding, etc. Like, would you rather like speculate and put your money in something that's like promising you, hey, we're gonna build this, or would you rather just like go with the more solid option and it's like, hey, yeah, we're having these emissions like kind of like increase just a little bit, right? And for us to be able to incentivize new builders, core community members, core founders, and build more stuff, that could further decentralize the ecosystem. I think I'd pick option two. It's just that we have the sound technology already. So
Oh, there's always a cost of doing business, right?
that too.
There's a lot of infrastructure that still needs to build out. There's a lot of we need to get out in front of people where they're at. And here's the deal, like again, with Shopify now offering crypto rails, what's been one of the biggest hurdles? What's one of the biggest problems that needed to be solved for mass adoption? It's that time where you're like, hey, I want some of this Bitcoin stuff. How do I make this work? And then you learn. You have to learn about wallets. You have to learn about sending transactions. There's these big, confusing, mass of letters and numbers, and you just don't really know what to do. And now when you're building for mass adoption and you're seeing it happen now, people are basically going to take existing Web 2 solutions and use that to onboard people into crypto backends, right? Like I think that like when you use Cash App on your phone or Venmo, you're going to start seeing you're going to start seeing these apps come out that allow people to interact with crypto in a very familiar way and get rid of that whole part of the learning curve that is, how do I do this safely? How do I get my crypto where I need it, and how do I send it where I want it to go? That's Web 2 right here. It's happening now.
I mean, that's the whole point of good technology, is knowing it so well and making something simple so that other people don't have to understand it. It's just easy for them.
Right. Like in terms of messaging and in terms of like building, like think about Diego from BitFlow always says this. He's like, whenever, think about how you would explain this to your dad. How would you tell your dad to, use whatever protocol? How and when you solve making that part as easy as possible, that's when you're winning. And we're going to see that now, and it's great to see. It's time, But
yeah, I'm interested in hearing like Brian's take. Like, Brian, do you have any Bitcoin, and did you want to like maybe do like a brief introduction of like what you do and what you're into?
Oh, yeah. Well, so I'm Brian. So I'm a neurologist, but I do telemedicine. So work from home all day, which is nice. Never have to be in the hospital. Thank God.
Yeah. Lab coat up front, boxer shorts on the bottom.
Pretty much.
I work in healthcare too. We actually had a doctor we worked with on telemed who would show up like basically in his pajamas and like had to be like, Doc, look, man.
Well, I mean, what I do is even more like I don't actually see patients at all. I actually function probably more like a radiologist. So I essentially analyze people's brainwaves while they have surgery.
Very cool.
So it's real time monitoring, interoperative monitoring is what they call it.
Very cool.
So people have brain spine surgery, and then you're monitoring the nervous system to make sure they don't get paralyzed.
Yeah.
So Neuralink, right? You're the guy that puts the Neuralink in.
No, yeah. Actually, my cousin was telling me I should get in touch with some of the Neuralink people because apparently, there's probably some overlap with, the stuff they do and the stuff I do. So I don't know. I haven't got around to that yet. I got so much on my plate at this point. It's just, but yeah, no. I'm into Bitcoin. I've been. I got into it back in I think it was end of 2020. It was fall of 2020. So yeah, been through the ups and downs, and it's up right now. So it's all good. But I've the thing is I try not to look at the day to day. I'll keep getting texts from my brother, and my dad, and they're like, "Oh, Bitcoin's up, Bitcoin's down." I'm just like, I'm I'm thinking like 30 years out, man. 40 years out. This is
Right.
like, I'm not freaking out because it goes down a few grand or 10,000 or whatever one day. Big deal.
Right.
Dude,
In the
that is
long run.
such a relatable take. That is such a relatable take. Like the old man will be like, "Hey man, Bitcoin's down today. Should I sell?" I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah. It's
No,
part
but
of,
this is the thing too, and you were bringing that up. That people want to let go of their bags, sell it to BlackRock and all, and I don't know.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm getting like a bit blackpilled on this because a few other people have tweeted about this too, where they're just like, the way it's looking like is, the institutions are gonna, eat it all up. Most people don't have the balls to to stay with the with the swings, with the up and downs. But
That's the sad part too.
it's very sad because I think like if you really understand Bitcoin and its implications, like once I really understood it, I was like, I need to get more. Like I do not have enough Bitcoin. I will never have enough Bitcoin. Like every time I hear sailors speak, like I was at the conference, I heard him speak a few times, and like after each time, I was like, shit, I need more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I will never have enough. It's like, every day for the rest of my life, I'm gonna go to bed. Never will get enough Bitcoin.
There's not enough Bitcoin to go around, man.
No, I'm glad. Keep kicking myself because I was like, I should have, gotten into it earlier, jumped into it earlier. But like in the grand scheme of things, I feel very blessed for how much I have gotten into it. So
it's so funny that Sailor's basically just a bull poster degen in a suit.
Right.
Like all he does is bull post and buy Bitcoin and leverage.
When people,
and yet it's very professional.
When people are exposed to this, though, like the whole like inner workings, but they don't know about how the rest of the world works. It's all the same, It's just I mean, marketing is no different. The degen buying on leverage from sale. It's all the same, man. Like it's just a different scale, and that
one
scale.
has a suit.
Yeah, 100%.
So I know Rosar. I wanted to pivot just a little bit. So Rosar is doing some stuff, putting together like a workshop for builders that want to build on top of Bitcoin via stacks. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe we could like pivot just a little bit. Did you want me to pull up my screen and show what you have put together, or did you want to pull it up so you can kind of scroll through it and cover it? Like, what is your take?
I'll pull it up just so I can scroll as I talk. Probably easier that way.
Right, all along with what you're doing and stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes I do some aggressive highlighting of text.
Yeah, like zoom in, way in, be like this part's
zoom in, yeah.
And plus, mine's in light mode too, so I might blind somebody. So, all right, so this is an introduction to what Rosar has been working on for a little bit. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so it's still very early on, but at a high level, what I want to do. So, I remember when I was early in my programming life, I did this course series on Ruby on Rails. It was basically the first time I got out of like, I learned like web development. Before I had like worked with, Python and like maybe a little PHP, but like I didn't really understand like true like web development, like full stack, data structures, like, I mean, I learned in school, of course, but like I didn't really like learn the engineering side of it. And it was a really, really well made course. Each section, you build upon the previous section. Like everything had you could follow along by like copy pasting lines of code and like progressively building it along with the author, and everything's explained really well. And that's sort of like my gold model for how I want to structure things, where, you can go from nothing to a finished app right with every course, like some sort of finished, complete thing. So it's gonna be very practical. I want it to be very practical. I want it to be very, like just basically every course will have a deliverable, and you're learning and building upon it on the previous one. And so, each course will have like a web app component to it, or a mobile app, and then also like some contract work. But yeah, so what did you call it earlier? It's like the builder.
So like the Bitcoin builder workshop.
Yeah, like a something like that. But yeah, more or less, like Stacks, DApp Builder course. And yeah, I've split it into 10 courses of a series, so like 10 parts, and they all get progressively more complicated. And when I say complicated, I just mean like more ambitious, like more going on, more involved. They all
Kind of designed for somebody to make something very basic, understand the core workings of how to build a D app, and then like make
Yeah.
it more intricate as you go.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one is like everyone will create their own SIP10 token and their own website to like manage it, like transfer it around. So, and we'll cover some of the basics of like setting up a workstation, like a code base, getting your Hero API key, setting up Clarinet so you can develop locally your contracts and test them, how to deploy contracts, you know, how to use your app and connect it to your contract that's deployed. And you know, at the end, you'll have your own token that you built yourself, and you'll have all the workflow skills for, you know, deploying, like writing and deploying contracts, you know, at a basic level. So I'm going to kind of breeze through the rest of these just because I want to go at a high level, and then we'll come back. But yeah, course 2 is a token faucet and airdrop. So you're going to build upon your token and give it some utility and do some more advanced stuff with it. Then we're going to do some even more like a content platform that you're using your token to either like do payments or gate content on it. Then we're going to do a decentralized marketplace. So another way to use your token for payments, for like locking up NFTs. So we're going to get into NFTs here. And this contract will be a little more complicated, you know, now because you're going to have to like escrow NFTs and move them in different states of like, you know, listed, you know, unlisted, that sort of stuff. And then we're going to get into DeFi for course 5. So they'll make a liquidity pool so you can give your token some exchange value and start looking at like how to build a web app for that, like a DEX interface. Then we're going to do advanced DeFi stuff with multi-hop routing. And then we're going to get into like subnets on course 7 and implementing like dollar cost averaging. Then 8, 9, and 10 are going to be, so all these were web apps. 8, 9, and 10 are going to be mobile apps. So we'll start with React Native, and we'll basically build a similar app that we had for the DEX, but on a mobile app. So you can have a mobile app that you can do trading on. And then 9 is, this one's sort of subject to change, but basically I want to do some sort of like GameFi implementation using, you know, on a mobile app with your token. I have perps here.
Can I say pause real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Zay Yen Hit, you can't even spell dumb, so you're dumb. All right, continue.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this one may be subject to change, but basically some sort of GameFi use case where with like leaderboards, achievements, social features. I was thinking like perps might be a fun use case because it uses Blaze. It also, you know, could be like a simplified version of perps that, you know, maybe, you know, I don't know. Subject to change. We'll figure that one out. But some sort of game. And then 10
perps is based.
Yeah. Just, you know, because like perps are effectively like betting. So it's some sort of betting based game is kind of what I'm going for there. It's some sort of game of chance. And using token prices is like a good randomization thing. But it could be anything. Maybe this won't be the wildcard course where everyone builds something different. And then 10 is the creator economy platform. So like the capstone course will be an OnlyFans clone platform, mobile app with your token for payments. So this will be like subscriptions, tipping, content, monetization, all that. And so it'll probably be the most involved of all of them.
I like that. Now I can finally sell my feed pics.
Yeah, you can sell your feed pics.
No, it's like literal fans. Like look at Brian's. Like killer fan. Like
ceiling fans.
Fans, you know.
Fans.
I need to get my mind out of the gutter. Damn, here I am thinking I was going to be able to finally sell my feed pics.
I mean, maybe if there's like a foot fan, like a flipper, that might be applicable. But yeah, I think that's basically like the gambit. Like most of the stuff I've already built to one extent or another, so it should be pretty easy. I could just focus on like the content and mentoring and making sure it's like very clear. This one, yeah, basically. I mean, this stuff is going to be a little bit of app dev that I need to figure out, but it's nothing too different from anything else I've done. This one, I want to do like you pick your own game, but that might be complicated as like a tutorial series. So we'll figure that out.
You know,
But
what I think is like a really awesome like point in there is that you made it a point to kind of teach devs how to build on mobile because a lot of people they don't interact with they that's where they interact from is from mobile apps
yeah, I agree.
you know,
I think mobile is a better user experience for the apps because you can implement the wallet in the app instead of having like a wallet connect experience. Just have
so the only thing I think I have like a little bit like of a critique of is like so if somebody is only mobile based and they want to build something, is there a way to build directly for mobile or do you need a desktop?
think you need a desktop.
Okay. All right, fair.
Yeah.
I mean like most
But
people that
honestly, laptops are cheaper than mobile phones. So
okay. Well then that's a good counterpoint too, like right there too. So there you go. Like you answered my question perfectly. So
I mean, you can get a Windows PC for like $500, and smartphones are like $1,000 easy. So
yeah,
I don't
Apple,
know. There's a lot of secondhand products, but I can't. You got to
I
pick a
couldn't
battle
see
here.
somebody trying to build from a mobile app or from a mobile device anyway. Like I just don't think that's very feasible. I could see that like okay, like I only have a mobile. That's what I'm based out of. But like you'd
Yeah.
have a difficult time. Like,
I mean,
so,
I think I'm already going to have a wide range of experience levels. Like some people are probably going to have no coding experience, and some people will be more technical following the course and have already
right.
built apps before. So it's going to be tricky enough
So have
just
you
to like
spoken with
speak to that audience. I don't think I'll be able to do multi.
have you spoken with
What's
Gary
up?
at all? Have you spoken with Gary from Zero to Clarity and seen if he has any like good candidates that have like participated in his Zero to Clarity, and then like maybe this is like this a more in depth like personal like learning experience like maybe that's a connection who knows,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I definitely should check in and see how his stuff's been going, and maybe figure out what works from it and steal some
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah, exactly.
Borrow some ideas.
And then just like
It's been doing it for a minute.
reiterate.
So that's that.
Um,
I've been yeah, so hopefully hopefully I get as much attendance as possible. I was thinking about making like a little sign up, like an on-chain sign up where people could register and get like a little badge or something, and then like every time they complete a course they get like a experience or some sort of badge, marks their progress.
or maybe you could do a zero authority bounty to where it contributes to the reputation score for participating in the workshop.
Possibly.
And then I like the idea of a badge
Yeah.
as well, like some type of like memorabilia that like, hey, this is where I got
If
my
they're down
start.
for it, I'm down for it. I don't want to create extra work for them if they're busy because I can make the badges really quick. But if they
Gotcha.
are open to it, I'm happy to get their help in that sense.
It's all one conversation, right? Like we're two conversations away from handling business and getting anything accomplished. So I just throwing what comes to
Mm-hmm.
mind out there whenever you know
Yeah.
how we do whenever we're just like talking on the show. So it's one of those things. I'm really excited for this because you know as some people know, like I experienced um, a hack. Like so, I was exposed to a hack. I used the MetaMask wallet.
Well,
Like
that was
this
your
is
first
whenever I was
mistake.
first learning about DeFi. Yep, there you go. That's what a lot of people have told me, right? So I was interacting with like EVM stuff, and this is whenever I was completely green to crypto, right? Like this is my first full cycle. So like I didn't even use it too much. I participated in something called Phantom of the Opera, which is like on FTM. It's now called Sonic. Um, and like I didn't even I shortly after I did that, I discovered stacks, and I was like, oh shit, this is Bitcoin based and like more secure and all of that stuff. And I made an important post about post conditions, and post conditions are unique to the Clarity virtual machine. So like in stacks, right? So um, it's kind of crazy to experience that and then realize like how secure and how well off we have it here in Stacks. Like builders here, users, um, we're protected a lot more than EVM stuff. If you make one mistake in EVM, then you're toast, right? So
Yeah,
um, kind of thankful for that. It was a learning experience, and I'm all right.
you
It's not
bounce
like
back. We all do.
I didn't, yeah, I'll bounce back. It's not nothing but a thing, and I'll grow from it. It's like growing pain, so like it's good. So I didn't like now I'm going through the process of like making sure my machine is clean, like completely like getting stuff, all my files off of it, and then I'm gonna do a hard wipe, all that stuff. So like it's the first time that I've had to experience this, and I need to experience this so I know how the process goes of being completely
Yeah.
secure. And then I'm gonna go and get the cold wallet and all the things that people discuss about like constantly in this space, so I can be truly secure this time. It's like a wake up call. It's like can happen to you too.
Yeah,
Julie.
I think
So,
paper wallet's the
like,
best, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just
that
like, you know, you gotta. Oh, I
it
got
had
a door
perms.
knock. Hang on one second.
Yeah, so it had perms to my wallet. And I didn't even go back and look at it for years. It's been like 2-3 years since I
Your
touched it.
voice is cutting out a little
Okay.
bit.
Oh, so yeah, this I have this new really cool thing to where I can
Do this with my voice and make it funny if I wanted to, and then like, oh yeah, I got hacked, guys. What's up?
one of those things. I forget that I talked directly into the mic, whereas like I had a little bit of like leeway with it before I plugged it into the
That's
device.
good.
So,
You see, you got to build new
Yeah.
habits, and we can stick some electrodes to your head, and Brian can measure how those habits are performing.
How they're going.
We could just hack you again, and that'll change your habits real
Yes.
fast.
Yeah, brain hack.
there you go. Like put the Neuralink in there, and then like Brian has a controller, and he's just like just moves my head over like this to the mic so you can hear me better.
Well,
That's probably gonna be feasible at some point in the future. Being able to do shit like that. Yeah,
I believe it.
or like reading people's
I believe
minds.
it. Maybe we even have like a Cortana that lives in our brain, like Master Chief
Wait,
from Halo.
I have a
Sorry.
brain question.
Mm.
Why do we sleep?
Oh, that's a good question. People ask me that all the time. I actually don't know. I don't know if there's actually like a definitive answer for the purpose.
That's one of the
sleep.
things I think the most ridiculous, like funny things ever. It's like we're these animals, and we just go unconscious for like a third of our lives,
yeah.
and we still don't know why.
I mean, we know what happens when you don't sleep well. All the health problems and all that
Oh, yeah.
stuff. But why? I mean, it's like
what's happening there? Is
Yeah,
my
no,
context
like,
window
it's-
full? Like what's going on?
It's similar to the question of like like why do we exist? Like why do why do we have consciousness? What is consciousness?
Yeah, they just need to.
Those are hard. The hard problem as they call it.
We'll figure out the brain. We're getting closer.
Well, I don't know. We think we're getting closer, and then
I mean, not next year, but eventually.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, in the past, when they thought of consciousness, there were all these like metaphysical explanations or spiritual whatever, blah, and then
I mean, once
They-
they,
they- they-
smarter
they-
than us,
Huh?
won't they be able to just figure it out?
who will?
Like a super intelligent general intelligence LM or AI system.
I don't. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
No,
I mean,
either
everyone
way.
keeps. This is the other thing too, because everyone keeps talking about the brain is just a, like an organic computer, and so you should be able to get AI to mimic the human brain or exceed the human brain and all. But I don't know. It's a little. I mean, it's a framework to have to kind of understand the brain, thinking of it like a computer, but I don't think it. I don't know if
Yeah, I
I'd
get
say
it.
it functions
That makes
exactly
sense.
like one. you know.
Can you remove the brain from the body, like in
Oh.
Futurama, and still have consciousness?
Oh, without
Will that happen?
Like head
I mean,
transplant.
head
theory?
you know there's a startup that's doing that head transplant. I forget the name of it.
I saw an
There's a video. Did you see that video? Somebody, I think they posted some video on Twitter about it.
something.
Yeah, which I still don't understand how that works, because it's like
New body.
there's a lot of things to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what
How does it
memories
take?
do you carry? Our bodies carry, like, because I've heard that the cells have their own memory too, right?
Well, I
So
mean,
it's
because
like,
I mean the cells, I mean they have their own. Like the big issue would be with, I mean, it's kind of like when you get like an organ transplant or blood transfusion. Like you need to make sure that you have like compatibility, because otherwise, like you'll like
reject.
the immune system will just attack it or whatnot.
Would an identical twin head transplant work?
I mean, that probably would work. That'd be probably the closest, the surest, bet,
Good.
I guess.
One twin's just like a huge alcoholic and drug user, and then like the other one just dies
Well,
randomly. It's
I,
like,
could
"Give me his
I
body."
mean, that's probably the surest bet in terms of tissue compatibility. But
what a dark turn.
I mean, if I got a brain guy in the room, I'm gonna
Bro.
rattle some brain questions off.
crazy stuff, man. Yeah,
Well,
God
you-
knows what's gonna come down the pipeline in 10, 20 years.
Yeah,
When you get an organ transplant, right? Like,
Mm.
you get the person who gets it has to take so many medicines to make it work, and those
Yeah.
medicines are rife with side effects. I'm just now sitting here thinking about like what the side effects or what it would look like for someone who has a whole new head. Like, it would just
I don't even know what immunosuppressants you'd get for that.
no.
Like, yeah.
But it's funny because this is kind of a pivot. But a couple days ago, I read a headline how Google is laying off a bunch of their search staff, right?
Mhm.
And so, of people, we're all of varying ages here, but I remember when like the term Googling something became a term, right? I mean, we're going like circa 98, 99 back then, right? And, some of you have grown up in a world where Google it has been a term, right? It's just, oh yeah, Google it. And now people are using AI so much that Google is the search engine just not being used nearly as much, to the point where they're offering buyouts to their employees, right? And AI did that. I don't think anyone 5 years ago could have really understood that we would get here this fast when it comes to AI and how fast it's progressing, and to the point where you like are kind of overtaking Google of all things, and because Google's just been dominant. It's been dominant since it came out. That's why we don't say, hey, just Yahoo that, or just MSN that, or just whatever. You Google something. So that's what I was trying to talk to my son about the other night. And I was like, you can't even on a 5-year timeline at this point really understand exactly what the world's going to look like, and have, I think, any edge or any degree of accuracy, because it's moving just incredibly fast. And I mean, look, we're probably what, a year? You've been seeing those little AI movie clips coming out with like the stormtroopers and stuff. We're probably like a year before someone makes one of those that does bigger numbers than the biggest Hollywood production that year.
Oh no, Hollywood's fucked.
Yeah,
Hollywood's completely screwed. The canary in the coal mine actually for that was like, I think it was 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, when Tyler Perry, I don't know if you remember that news story. Tyler Perry, he was in the process of doing like an $800 billion expansion on his movie studio, and then I think somebody had shown him one of the earlier the AI video stuff, and he saw that and he scrapped the plans, because I think he knew that it's gonna be over for Hollywood, or at least the current model for Hollywood is.
And it's to be like that for gaming. That's a huge
AI video games, dude. That is what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
that is
We're
going to
building
change the
them.
game.
That's what
Yeah.
we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, you know, it's cool because a lot of games have become very cinematic in nature, right? You think about like Red Dead Redemption or, you know, Mass Effect. If you want to go back a little further, I mean, the name goes on. And then so when you implement like the high quality video content with like create your own story type mechanics for gaming, like there's going to be entirely new, you know, independent industries born from this, you know. And I say all that to say this, that they'll be distributed via NFT. Like that's going to be ultimately how that works, because again, what started that conversation was apparently one of the devs for Rockstar Studios that does the GTA franchise leaked that Rockstar was thinking about making GTA 6 pay to play. Like literally you don't own the game at all, you just pay a subscription to play the game, which is crazy, but it follows the paradigm that the gaming industry has been, you know, established and going down now since the early 2000s. But that's not going to fly. Like I'm old school. I remember owning a cartridge. I remember when I played a game when I was a kid and I could go take that cartridge and go bring it to the hobby store and get, you know, $10 for it or whatever, and try to get a different game.
Blowing into the cartridge when
yeah
that thing, yeah.
I think we're gonna see that, and I think we're gonna see them distributed and actually get back to ownership via NFTs. And I think that's what Bitcoin, the lesson that Bitcoin's going to teach to people, especially with all of these stable coins that are going to be coming out and being more mainstream. The idea of what ownership actually means in reality is going to become its own meta. And I think that's where NFTs see their biggest actual use cases start to develop. And like we just had Greg on the other night, right? I mean, you're going to own a part of that game just from owning the ordinal. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and then like imagine like you own one NFT in a collection, and then you get to shape like how the movie is made, like parts of the movie, like, you know, and then you have a conglomerate of people with different ideas.
All I know is
it's
this is good for creative people.
100%.
Because, you know, just it's all about ideas now. You know, just coming up with unique ideas.
Yeah. Well, when you take Bitcoin, so you have hard money. If you have cheap energy, which we're going to have cheap energy to power this AI that everyone wants, and you have automation, everything becomes super cheap, like ridiculously cheap. So
and easy. You can just do stuff.
And so a lot of people are going to be on whatever they decide to call UBI, and they're going to live a certain kind of lifestyle, whatever that is. Basic needs met. Everyone's going to be spending all kind of time, you know, in a digital life, more so than now.
I have some concerns about, like, I think it would be great, but like, how does that actually come about? Like, who's making the decision to give it out? Because it almost feels like things are getting harder and harder. Like everyone's getting squeezed. Like, when is that going to happen? Is there going to be like a revolt and everyone's going to demand it, or?
Well, I mean, that's how things usually happen.
Yeah.
But I think your most likely candidate's going to be, you know, companies are going to get taxed, and it's just going to be giant welfare for most people. And if you're not like what you were talking about, Rosar, like someone very creative, or if you're not like someone who owns a lot of assets, or, you know, you're not someone who is very skilled with the tools that exist and will exist, upward mobility is going to be just about impossible for most people. I think that's where we're going. So how do you like keep, you know, the peasants from revolting? You make sure there's, you know, lots of entertainment and lots of cheap food, and everyone stays docile. But that's probably what, if I had to put my money on an outcome, it's going to look something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be nutty. Where it's going to be a complete. You're already seeing it. the space is changing. Like Rosar said, it's gonna be about the creatives with the cool ideas, and then it's gonna be the content creator economy. It's gonna be all about utilizing the tools for what they're meant to do, and the tools getting better and cheaper to use. So as more and more tools come out, the cheaper and better they'll get, right? Innovation competition drives innovation. So it's gonna be kind of like a race to the bottom, I think. Guys, we are getting around that hour mark. I really enjoyed you guys spending some of your most valuable assets with me, which is your time. I love shooting the breeze with you guys, and Brian, I especially enjoyed like getting to talk with you, man. I look forward to like chopping it up.
Yeah,
with you
definitely.
and-
No, this
and,
was fun. It was great. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, dude. Of course, man. What I like to do is I like to go around the room and let everybody have like any final thoughts, final frequencies that they want to put out to the ethos, shameless shills. Tell them what you got going on with your building. Jack, I want to shoot to you first tonight,
Yeah.
brother.
If you take anything away from what we talked about tonight, you definitely need some Bitcoin. Okay. If you're going to look, like Brian was talking about earlier, don't worry about the highs and the lows. For most people, the best strategy is just dollar cost averaging in. Just buying a little bit at a time and forget that you have it, because the world is changing, and we're seeing Bitcoin become one of the most desired assets in the world. And you still have the chance to get it. Like, you're basically getting like Manhattan real estate when you buy Bitcoin, right? You're basically you're setting yourself up, and then from there learn as much as you can, because there's tools being developed right now in real time that allow you to not just do more with Bitcoin, but allow you other ways to earn Bitcoin. Just like in Stacks, the SCX token, you can earn Bitcoin just by having that token. Okay. Learn about why stablecoins are important. Learn about why fiat sucks, and then you'll understand why USDH, of the first Bitcoin-backed stable, is going to be in the same type of demand that we find the demand for Bitcoin now, when people realize, well, I could have $1 of fiat, or I could have $1 worth of Bitcoin. So educate yourself. The world is changing. We have no idea. We have a conversation 5 years from now what that world's going to look like. But there are some fundamental things you can do right now to like improve your position as much as possible. And it's a good idea to have some Bitcoin.
Where can they follow you at, Jack?
At Jack Ben Switch at Twitter. That's the only social media platform I really use.
Solid, man. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you, man. Brian, any final thoughts? Any final additions that you want to add to the conversation?
That's a little hard to follow. I think he said it all. Yeah. One of the things I would add to that with the whole stacking Bitcoin, dollar cost averaging and stuff, is that people don't get bogged down with the whole what do they call it? It's like a unit bias, because everyone thinks, oh, one Bitcoin is whatever, over 100 grand. So what's the point? I'm not gonna, like the way that you describe, we would use this analogy with Manhattan real estate. Okay, so one Bitcoin may be like a whole block worth of Manhattan real estate, but you don't need a whole block necessarily to start. I mean, having one condo, apartment in a condo, and that's what like most people have.
If one Bitcoin's too expensive for them, they can just buy Charisma. It's fine. I get that. I understand. It makes a lot of sense. Just buy Charisma.
I don't know, but yeah, that whole unit bias thing. I didn't realize how prevalent that actually was. And then but I guess especially as Bitcoin.
I'm commonly like frequently.
Yeah. No, because it's
how dumb people are.
Well, dumb or just people don't think or realize they don't understand. It's just like just get in it. Once you get
lock
in
the
it.
fuck in, people.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it was for me too, because I think I kind of thought of that too. I was like, oh, one Bitcoin, you know. Anyway, at that time it was, you know,
I was very dumb at one point
much
too.
less. Yeah, but I was like, well, okay, a little bit
And
here,
then
a little bit
things.
there, and you know, you're consistent with it, and you know, 5 years down the line, you know, you'll probably be in this position telling
Yeah.
you know other people newbies who still haven't
Yeah,
gotten into it
everyone
with
has
Bitcoins
their
at like
own
$500,000 or God knows what.
journey of learning,
So yeah,
enlightenment.
so wealth and health too. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
take care of your health also.
I've been going to the gym.
Mhm.
That's been nice.
Yeah, dude. Get your ass in DCA that
Yeah,
health too,
definitely.
man. For sure. I agree with that. That's a good addition, Brian. Thank you. And Rosar, any final thoughts? Additions to the conversation, shameless shills, final frequencies.
Yeah,
tippity
I'll
toes?
just do
What
some
we got going
shilling
on, man?
today. I don't usually shill too much. I'll
Okay.
just shill. Definitely. So I made some upgrades to the Charisma like trading pro view mode, which is like super dope. You should use it. It's really nice now. It has all the biggest Bitflow pools aggregated. You know, you can do. It has all these responsiveness UI upgrades. So it's like very smooth. Everything's looks really nice. You can do limit orders. You can do sandwich orders. You can do dollar cost averaging. And you cannot do these things anywhere else. They don't exist. If you want to use a DEX to buy Bitcoin at a certain price point or buy and sell it and make profit or DCA in or out of any token, you are out of luck because there's nowhere else to do it. You have to do it on Charisma. So, and it's really useful. I mean, you can make a good amount of money by like not just spot buying wherever the price is. Just look at a chart, look where it's been bouncing around the last few days, put the buy down like 5%, and bam, that's 5% more money you got in your pocket now. So check it out. It's very useful. Swap.
And also go to lol.charisma.rocks and then play
Yes.
meme roulette.
Also,
Where can they go to check what you were just talking about with the sandwiching? I want a sandwich.
oh
Where
yeah,
am I going?
swap.rocks, and then click on orders, and then if you want to go to the pro mode, click on the little desktop icon. Yeah, and then if you want to play meme roulette, you're not, you know, you just want to meme around and do some degen shit. Meme roulette's what's up. lol.charisma.rocks. Or you can go to charisma.rocks. It has links to most of the stuff. Yeah. I mean, a lot of cool stuff coming up. You follow me on Twitter if you want to get updates on this or the course I'm about to release, the developer course. So you can go from knowing nothing to building your own like mobile and web apps for trading and, you know, launching tokens and all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, Lord Rosar on Twitter. I got you.
Right
Let's
on,
go.
right on. Huge fan of like you trying to like spread the word and teach other people and be a mentor in this space. So keep going, dude. Really big fan of that, man. We need that in this space. More mentors, more leaders. So, fellas, thank you very much for a high frequency conversation, and I hope that you guys have a very blessed rest of your Thursday night, afternoon, wherever you at in the world. Keep loving the room, guys. I'll see you for the next one.
Later, guys. This is
Peace
fun.
out.
And this has been another based episode of DeOrganized Nightly, where we get your favorite Giga Brain Astronaut Scholars into the same room, have a dope conversation about world news, Bitcoin news, crypto news, you name it. Alpha, fresh, hot, and off the presses. We got it. Be sure to tune in to the Let's Go Morning Show at 8:30 a.m. ET, Monday through Friday, along with the DeOrganized Nightly segment at 7 p.m. ET. Go to DeOrganized.media and set up your profile and visit the show schedule so you never miss your favorite spaces or podcasts from the Bitcoin and Stacks ecosystem ever again. That is DeOrganized.media. And go set up that profile, fellas. Go get and ladies. Sorry, I didn't mean to say fellas, but ladies and gentlemen, go get you some dApps. I'll see you on the flip side. We're doing this again tomorrow. We have my guys, You Pick and Prince K, coming onto the show, along with other gentlemen from the space, and we will have another awesome conversation for our Friday. Stay blessed, guys. I'll see you again. Peace. Bye.